In this movie, we're going to talk about background graphics and how background graphics can sit behind typography and they can even take the place of typography. I'm sure you've seen many websites and perhaps you've done this yourself with traditional HTML and CSS. And it's really no different here. There are just some added considerations because you can't always see exactly in the code what the HTML is doing. So the example that I'd like to show you is I've made this little sort of swash banner that's going to take the place of this saying, "Welcome Lancer Alumni." And the first thing I'm going to do is let Firebug help me determine what rule we're targeting here. So I will open up Firebug, get my inspection icon, and see that it's widget title. And that is on line 1732. So I will jump over to my style sheet, and I'm currently working on the style sheet in Dreamweaver, but as a reminder, this could be done in TextEdit or any other text editing program. Okay, so here I am on line 1732. So I'm going to come in and add the code, the properties, so that we can bring that background image onto the scene. So this is called Swash. And right now, that graphic is only going to sit behind the text, the height of the text. So I need to make sure that the height and the width are going to accommodate the full size of that graphic. So the width needs to be declared, and that is 180 pixels. And the height is 54 pixels. I also need to tell the browser that this needs to display as a block so that it holds open enough space for it. And one more property that I will add is a background repeat. So just in case this container, if you will, stretches out or becomes much bigger, there's no chance that that swash is going to repeat back there. Okay, so we have our background image. It's a certain height and width. It's displaying as a block. It's not going to repeat. Perfect. So I will save this. I will come to my FTP component of Dreamweaver and upload the newly revised style.css. All right, so here I am back at my preview page. So let me refresh and we'll see that pop into place. Ooh, okay. Well, it certainly did pop into place, but more than where I expected it. So part of the reason in going through this particular exercise is to show you that sometimes, especially in WordPress, rules are used in more than one place. This widget title is affecting every widget. So this calendar is a widget, and even though it doesn't have a title, the placeholder for the title is still there. My pages was a widget. There's the swash, and of course, ultimately where I want it to be. So that might be okay with you. That might be a universal thing. You want all of your widget titles to have something happening behind them. But I don't. I only want it to happen right here on this particular widget. Not only will Firebug be helpful for you to determine what rules are affecting it, but you also need to sometimes know where in the structure of HTML things live as well. So while this is still highlighted, welcome Lancer alumni, just going to do a little investigation and see that, well, widget title is actually attached to an H3 tag. And if I move up the line a little bit, it's in an ID, a div, ID'd with the name of first. So if I can doctor up that rule a little bit, I can make it more specific and only target this. So back over to Dreamweaver. I'm going to leave this widget title here and just copy everything. Copy that whole rule. Paste. For now, I'll leave them the same, but I'm going to come back and add what I know about this specific rule. It is in a container, a div tag called first, and it is an H3 tag with the class of widget title. So if this is hurting your brain a little bit, the more you know about rule writing, if there's anything you can do to refresh your memory, watch some lynda.com movies, really hone up on CSS. The more you know about writing rules and specific rules, the more you can do with WordPress, because that's the primary way that you're going to change the look of things. Well, I have two rules now. They have the same properties. It's really only this one, however, that should get to the properties. So in the normal plain Jane widget title, I'm going to go in and delete the things that I had added previously. I'll save my new style sheet, go back to my FTP, upload, come back to my page and refresh, and fingers crossed I should only see, okay, perfect. That's only where I wanted that to be. Well, another thing that you might want to consider is maybe you made the graphic with the type in it, and you don't really want the type there at all. So I'm going to show you that I've actually created another graphic. I don't have a preview of it, but I have another graphic called Alumni where it actually says Welcome Alumni. So I don't really want this text here at all. But I don't want to have to figure out how to get rid of it. I can just hide it through the power of CSS. So back over to my style sheet. So instead of it now being called Swash, I'll simply change the name of that to Alumni. I'm not going to do display none like you may have remembered from previous demonstrations, because that would take this whole thing away. I wouldn't have a title there at all. No swash, no nothing. Instead, what I'm going to do is add a property of text indent, and I'm going to add a value that's really outrageous, like 9,000 pixels shoved over to the left. I mean, that would be so far off of anybody's browser that no one's ever going to see it. So that's perfect. So the text is there for search engines, but we can't see it. But our swash, our custom background, is still there. So once again, I will save this. This newly revised style can get uploaded. I do not need to send any dependents along with it. Refresh. Oh, something's wrong. Okay, well, there's a hiccup here. I'm sorry if it seems a little disjointed, but I did have to stop for a while. I couldn't figure out how to meld two things together in ScreenFlow. I did have an issue, and the issue was with my style sheet. All of the code was correct except that I had previously typed in alumni.ping, and I forgot to put the directory of images.ping. So when I saved this file, re-uploaded with the new directory listed, and previewed, and I've already previewed, here it is. So the new alumni banner is sitting behind the text, and we've chosen through text indent to have that text pushed so far off to the side that we can't see it. But that's all done through the style sheet. So technically, the search engines will recognize it, will still think it's there. It's just the wonder and the miracle of CSS that we can do some pretty cool things using graphics.